What's up guys, Antoine here at DPR. This week we're showing you the very first clutch of 2022, and while looking at them we'll talk about the importance of having quality genetics. If you're ready, let's jump right into that. Showing you the very first clutch of the year, I wanted to introduce you to the mother of the clutch. This is the female that laid the very first clutch on December 9th, 2021. She is a black pastel hypo, one of an amazing female that we purchased from NBK Reptiles in the past years. I'll show you some pictures of her when she was younger. She is a truly phenomenal hypo. The oranges and the color, the intensity, the contrast on her are just mind-blowing. Today, you know, she kind of lost a little bit of it, but she still is a very, very beautiful hypo female. So let's check her babies. Alright guys, so the pairing was a Mojave Cypress 100% het hypo to the black pastel hypo female. So that's the very first baby. This is just a straight black pastel het hypo, so nothing too crazy here. But just nonetheless like a really great quality black pastel, a really nice looking animal nonetheless. When you start adding genes on top of it, you get something like this one here, which is a black pastel Cypress 100% het hypo. The Cypress really kind of busy up the side patterns, and it really creates something really interesting. Black pastel obviously here is overriding the Cypress in this combination, but it is a really interesting looking animal, and really stripe up the dorsal, creates that intensity inside of the Allen heads, and really a white highlight. And when you stack Mojave on top, you get that really beautiful interaction of the three genes, black pastel, Cypress, and Mojave. You really get those busier Allen heads, something more connected, a white belly typical to Mojave. Nonetheless, this animal is just breathtaking. This is a really cool head. When it comes to the actual hypos, this is a black pastel hypo, nothing else added. And when I'm talking about quality of hypo, this is exactly it. This is a perfect replica of mom. Obviously, black pastel and hypo are a perfect match together. Hypo really works well with dark genes, and black pastel is one of them. Compared to, you know, the single black pastel hypo, it's a world of difference what the actual effect of hypo is doing on such a combination. It is really pleasing to see what such a simple gene as hypo can actually do to a combination. Now here's another hypo that we hatched in the clutch. This is actually Cypress hypo, and I'm kind of shocked because this is the very first Cypress hypo that I hatched. And I usually thought that Cypress was a light gene, but seeing the richness and the intensity of the purple inside of that animal, it really reminds me of, you know, the interaction of a dark gene with a hypo. But the Cypress is what I consider a lighter gene. That really deep coloration between the Allen heads is just like some sort of deep grayish purple with some hints of blues. This is an animal that turned out really nicely. In my opinion, the nicest animal of the clutch. When you stack Mojave on top, you get that animal right here, which is a Cypress Mojave hypo. Cypress and Mojave, you know guys, I am a huge fan of them. It's just the perfect blend of patterns, Allen heads, clear belly. Overall, Mojave Cypress is a phenomenal snake, but when you add hypo on top, it just brings it to a whole other level. You keep that richness of the blacks that are now gray from the Cypress hypo, but the Mojave gives it that orange tints, those orange tints all across the animal between the Allen heads, and that solid dorsal stripe, which just brings everything together really nicely. Here's the crown jewel of the clutch. This is a actually all the genes. This is black pastel Mojave Cypress hypo. Compared to the non-hypo version, you really lose those side patterns a lot on that snake, but you get that, you know, type of GHI Mojave hypo look, some pure gray animal with a highlighted stripe on top. You still have a little bit of pattern on the tail, which is really cool. Unfortunately for me, in all the clutch, the only snake that is not a male is this female here, the black pastel Mojave Cypress het hypo. So So when it comes to quality of genetics, most of the time I feel like everybody's drawn to having quality incomplete dominant. So having quality Enchi, quality Orange Dream, quality Chocolate, these are absolutely important. If you buy a poor quality chocolate, most of the time it will result in your babies. And if you buy the most insane looking chocolate, it will also result in the outcome when you breed that specific animal. But one thing that I see that's most of the time too much overlooked is the quality of your recessives. We know like pied, there's a variability of the saddles. It's not something you can specifically pick, but when it comes to clowns, there are a lot of different lines of clowns. There's a bunch of great videos. I'm thinking about Ballistic Pythons from Jun. He made a great video last year about his mosaic clown. He has like a red line, he has a carnival clown, you know, a bunch of different lines of clowns. And these lines, like, they're not necessarily genes that we think of right now, but these are different lines of a recessive gene. You can think about the hypo and the orange ghost, which like the ghost and the orange ghost, which are different, technically two different lines that are compatible. Enhancer and desert ghost, two different lines that are compatible. So this is something that's really overlooked in my opinion. Sometimes you want to buy like the best looking chocolate to put into your clown, but if your clowns throw you know, really busier or let's say more reduced animals or more reddish animals, it might not necessarily work with the type of genes that you're looking to. So these lines are truly important. When it comes to the video today, the hypos that I've just showed, these hypos are truly rich. These are not the type of hypos that will go and pale out as they mature. These hypos, they keep their coloration. They are neon, highlighted yellow. These are really nice. I'll also show you another hypo female. This is just a hypo het clown, and I honestly have never seen any other hypos that looked as great as this female. And I don't really know, honestly, what did cause that. It was just a pastel clown het hypo to a hypo female, and we hatched out this truly like insane looking female. She is more yellow and green than anything I've ever seen. I'm super excited to breed her this season. She's going to the Cypress Spot-Nose Fire Clown, so we'll be making clowns that are hypo, and this is going to be her quality of hypo. So this is kind of, you know, you don't necessarily always have to sell your animals in a more expensive way because they look much nicer, but they're gonna sell them. They're gonna sell more easily because they look much nicer. So having quality recessive and really selectively picking your recessive is also a thing. They're not really advertised out there, but when you look at some animals, I'm thinking about clowns. Urban Constrictors out in UK has some phenomenal chocolate clowns. I don't know if it's chocolate or it's clown, but these animals are just breathtaking. I see other chocolate clowns and I'm like, you know what? I can barely tell that it's chocolate clown. It's not what you're looking for precisely. So when you shop for animals, consider the quality of your incomplete dominant, but don't neglect the quality of your recessive. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Such a great feeling to finally show you the very first babies of 2022. I have a gut feeling that this year is going to be really great. We have new things coming. You know, we're moving in another room, and we have amazing females that are growing great follicles, and we should have some crazy looking babies. We'll have a bunch of clutches and incubators still due to hatch, and a lot more coming. If you like this video, be sure to go down in the comment and let me know what you think. And on this, subscribe to YouTube, go follow us on Instagram, and check out the Morph Market page because some of these babies will be available in no time. And on this, cheers and stay tuned.